Oh, now that's a proper Devon Swede with a proper Devon worm from a proper Devon farm. Now if everybody loves Swedes as much as these sheep do, we'd be a lot closer and a lot better at eating seasonally here in the UK. But don't worry, come with me, I'll hold your hand, I'll walk you through it. I'll show you that you can love Swede too. Let's go. If you kind of got rid of all the Swedes, not many people would probably notice, which is a crying shame. Because as Richard was explaining, he's the farmer, they're really sort of quite cost effective, cheap to grow. You can get a hell of a lot of volume. He picked 50 tons, well 49 tons out of this field. They don't require much work, much labour at all. So we should really get behind this sort of thing, especially if we are passionate about UK seasonal eating. Then Swede should be on our dinner plate, and I've got an awesome recipe to show you, which will probably change the way you think about Swede. A Swede beignet. Ah, it's delicious. It's like a little fried ball of just doughy goodness, and the Swede in it makes it so sweet and sumptuous. It's an absolute knockout of a recipe. This is not how you normally get your Swede. So in the field, when they pick it, they'll top and tail it just to make it a little bit more ergonomic and fit inside your veg box. So when you'll get your Swede, it will look a little bit more like so. Swede skin is not the best. It's quite fibrous and tough. But once it's peeled, cut it up, boil it, and it's delicious. So you see how easy the peely Swedes it is to peel a Swede. It is an absolute joy. Out of all the vegetables out there, Swedes have got to be up there with the most satisfying and easy to peel. Choppy chop chop. You need a sharp knife. Now that is a delicious bowl. Fill it out with water. Like when you're boiling most vegetables, if you add a stock cube, you're only going to enhance the flavour. So season it up, bay leaf, you could put some herbs in, you could put some rosemary, some thyme, something that will just leach out some beautiful flavour. Get it in there, boil it up, and then we'll mash it in through with some butter. Yeah, not really bhaji, not really beignet, somewhere in the middle. So get my onions on, want to really soften them down, so get them on nice and early, really cook them down, don't let them burn, don't let them catch, but just get them so they're so translucent and soft like butter. So while your onions are on softening and your Swede is sweetening, you want to do your little choux pastry. It's not a proper choux pastry, it's a cheat. Dead simple, got some water, got some butter, gonna mix in some flour, and then I'm gonna slowly incorporate some egg, and then fold the Swede in and the onions, and it's gonna be delicious with some herbs and some spices. I got my spices, so I've got some garam masala, which is a blend of spices, some turmeric and some cayenne pepper to give it that little I'm gonna get the spices in there, I reckon. Oh, get my flour in. Yeah, get it in. Sift it in, we don't need big lumps. But we might get them. There we go, look at that. There's my roux. So you just want to cook it out a little bit. This is a bit of intuitive to know when it's cooked out enough.
How do you know?
I just feel it, it's like now. If you cook it too much, it'll ruin it. And you don't want to ruin it, do we? We want to, okay, so that's good. So what we want to do now, turn that off, and then we're gonna beat in our eggs in a bit, but it's important to let this cool down a bit, because what we really don't want to happen is to cook the eggs. We just want them to incorporate, but not cook. But look at that. Swede's done, so I'm gonna drain it now and mash it up. So if you were gonna mash it just for your side, for your roast dinner and whatnot, you wanna get a load of butter in there too, some nutmeg, maybe even a bit of smoked paprika to really send it alive. But because we're using it for something else, a lot of the flavors in the other bits of the dish, we're just gonna mash it up, make it really smooth, and yeah, it smells great. So you wanna mash it so there's no big old lumps in it, but we're not gonna worry too much. And if you keep it in the pan you cooked with, so it's nice and hot, it'll evaporate that extra moisture. So now, right, incorporate my eggs. So we need 2.5 eggs. So what I've done is I've cracked them in there, whisked them all in, so that when it incorporates, it will incorporate sort of evenly. So we want to get this in gently, because if you add it all in at once, what would happen, it was a split. So I'm just gonna put maybe a third in. So now it's time to bring it all together. Get it in, now that looks absolutely bonza. Now what we want to do is we want to get that cooled down, ideally in the fridge for a couple of hours just to really cool it out. So you do have to use quite a lot of oil in this, but you know what, air fry it, shallow fry it. You could probably roast them, but you don't really get the same effect. You want like nice crispy exterior, so deep frying So I've taken this out of the fridge, it's nice and cold and it's set up nicely, so it shouldn't be too hard to sort of shape and get in. Carefully, because you know, hot oil is hot. Get yourself a big dollop of the mixture, like so, and then get it in. Take them out, look at that. Wow, look at that chap. Whoa! That is bloody not too shabby. I'm always surprised when things kind of work out, to be honest. But these make a great little starter or a little snacky snack. Served with a nice fiery lime pickle with some raita. Absolutely delicious. Look at the texture. Look at that. That looks lovely. You can see the Swede, all Swede in there. I love Swede. Right, bit of sauce. Bit of lemon. Ooh, oh, that's hot. They're absolutely delicious. They're like Swede bhajis, but even better. They are really nice. So I hope that transforms the way you think about Swede. It's not a boring vegetable. It's something that's versatile, full of flavour, and you can do loads with it. I know that's what versatile means, but it's a good point, so I made it twice. Any other vegetable you'd like to see us talk about, cook or prepare, then write a comment, let us know. Just write us a comment and give us some feedback anyway. I really hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you give it a go at home, and stay tuned for more weekly Veg Hacks.